Disney Plus Canada's new Star content arrives today, and we've got all the details you need to know about right after this. What's up, everybody? I'm Victor Stiff, that Shelf Senior Critic, and today we're talking about all the great new content arriving on Disney Plus Canada's Star tier. I had a chat with Walt Disney Studios Canada's Vice President of Marketing, Greg Mason, and we talked about the new features and new content on the Disney Plus streaming service. I don't want to talk dirty about your competition, but there was another major streaming service that dropped last year, and people were very confused about what they were getting and what they were paying for and what they weren't getting. So I'd just love to hear the details from you of like what's coming with Star and when can people expect it and what will they be getting and how will they be getting it?
Yeah, sure. So Star hits tomorrow, February 23rd, and it will be the sixth tile on the Disney Plus app. If you know the app well, we have our brands that we're incredibly proud of across the top. So Star will be the sixth tile. And inside Star will be our general entertainment content offering. So all kinds of more mature content, movies, classic movies from our 20th century brands, from FX, from ABC Television, from Touchstone. And we are close to doubling our library in Disney Plus effective tomorrow.
And I'm just going to jump in with a question from a very fond Disney Plus subscriber. He's 11 and I'll call him E. And he wants to know how much content is going to be for children.
E, that's a very good question. So there is some new content coming in for children. And what we're being very careful of is to ensure that we have the best parental controls possible in the whole business. It was very important to us at Disney. So when people will come onto the service for the first time, once Star launches, only the account holder will be able to log in, and the account holder will need his or her password. And then once the password is set, then the account holder, which we're assuming is the parent, will be able to decide what are the appropriate levels of content for the children or the people in the house. And it's all done by age range. So you can pick what is appropriate, what you feel is appropriate for your various family members.
And with so many streaming services available right now, what sets Disney Plus with Star apart?
Well, what I think sets Disney Plus apart from the beginning, and I would include Star with that, is quality. I think that, we initially started, we had a lower quantity level than some other folks, but we certainly always delivered the quality in terms of the brands and the offerings. And with Star, we are now adding quantity in a quality fashion, which I think is terrific. And we're bringing a whole lot of new elements to it. We've got some Star originals, as well as, we have some really unique opportunities. One, just to give you this example, Victor, is Nomadland, which we're so excited to finally be able to release in Canada. It's been hard with the COVID pandemic, and we have a theatrical release offering, but we also have it available on Star so that people have an option, and that'll be out on April 9th.
I was able to catch that at TIFF. It's a great recommendation. And you guys have so many huge blockbuster properties from Pixar and Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. Could you maybe recommend a few things coming down the pipeline that'll just knock people's socks off?
I think so. Well, I was always a big fan of Love, Simon, so I'm really excited that the series Love, Victor hits the platform tomorrow, and we'll be adding new episodes. We have another original called Solar Opposites, which is sort of an adult animated property with Thomas Middleditch from Vancouver. And then one I'm particularly looking forward to is Only Murders in the Building, which is coming out later in the year, and it stars Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And I think that is a combination I am dying to see.
Sounds great. And old guys like me love to complain about how things are better in the older days, and people really miss the theatrical experience. And people had those feelings before the pandemic. What do you think people gain with streaming?
Well, I think with streaming, you have everything at your fingertips, and you are watching what you want when you want to watch it. I still, as a company, we still believe in the theatrical experience, and we look forward to the days when the theaters will be open again, and we will have content coming out for both theatrical as well as for streaming. We think that there's a place in this world for both to do very, very well.
And I have another reader question. And will subscribing to Disney Plus affect on-demand pricing? Will the price point change if you're a Disney Plus subscriber when you order, say, Raya and the Last Dragon?
So no, for Premier Access for Raya and the Last Dragon as an example, the price point is the price point. It is $34.99, same as Mulan, and that's for people who would like to see it on March 5th when it comes out. It is available for you in your home. Should you choose to wait until that period is over, it will be coming out in general for everybody, inclusive in the service at a later time.
And when you announced Star was coming, I believe the statement was you'll be dropping 100 plus new titles a year. How long is that output sustainable for? And like, will it carry on? Is that just because you're establishing the brand, or 5 years from now, are you going to maintain that, exceed that?
Well, initially, we're getting close to doubling the content that is on the platform right now, which I think is pretty spectacular. And the pipeline is very full. What I see coming down, not just on Star, but on Disney Plus, makes me very excited for the service. We got Falcon the Winter Soldier following on the heels of WandaVision, if you're a Marvel fan, and then wait for it, right after that is Loki, and both are incredibly special. And we've got Mighty Ducks for all the hockey fans in Canada. Also in March, we have Raya, as we mentioned, Nomadland in early April. So looking down the pipeline, Victor, I think we'll keep it pretty full for a long time. And, we're happy that we are starting production up in various places, carefully, safely. But there's still lots to look forward to this to come.
I got one more for you. So particularly with Marvel, their style of storytelling is so serialized and so interconnected. Now that you've announced about a dozen new Marvel titles coming down the pipeline, will this be a chance for the titles to kind of maybe get a little weirder and go off in one-off directions?
Well, it's funny you use the word weirder, and we're right in the middle of WandaVision, which I would call one of the most creative things that Marvel has done in a long time, and is sort of expanding the scope and viewability of Marvel. There is lots coming from Marvel. I'm in awe of Kevin Feige and what he is able to pull together, and how he interconnects it. He does it in such a way that the universe is interconnected and all of the diehard fans see so much, but it is not off-putting to a casual fan. And that is a balance that I think is just brilliant. And what is to come ahead in the MCU is very, very special. And Kevin has a master plan that I've had a little bit of a sneak peek at, and I'm incredibly excited about.
And I have a personal question for you, and it's, what is your dream project? Like, what would you just nerd out to see on the service that hasn't already been released? Not a sequel,
Oh, that
but something.
hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tricky. I might need a bit of time to think about that. That hasn't been released. I'm a big Searchlight fan, so there's a lot of Searchlight content coming. So Nomadland was one I was particularly excited that we had, and there's a few more Searchlight titles that we think are forthcoming. And I think having that just kind of broadens the spectrum and the palette for the service. So I'm excited about a few other Searchlight titles to come.
Sure. And I got another one for you. And everyone That Shelf interviews, we like to ask, what is that one thing you have at home that you just have to show off when people come over? And being that you are part of Disney and Star Wars and Marvel, like this has to be the best answer ever.
I don't know if it's the best answer. It's my answer. I'm not sure if it's the best answer, but I have a replica King T'Challa ring from Wakanda, from Black Panther. And Victoria Alonso, who is the executive producer on pretty much all of our Marvel titles, was in town a couple of years ago, and she brought it to me as a gift. And there's only a few of them. And it was done on a 3D printer. It is an exact replica of the prop. And that's something that I keep on my shelf.
That's certainly a tough one to beat. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to checking out the service when it arrives tomorrow.
Thanks very much, Victor. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
I wish you well, and thanks for all the great questions.
Anytime. Take care.
Take care.